right, so let's react to this Kendra G video.
Hey girl, hey.
What's your name, baby?
Tessa,
Tessa, where you calling me from?
North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Oh my God,
Tessa,
Kendra. Okay, let me get it out my system. Oh my God. Okay.
North Carolina. Throw your hands up. Ooh.
Period.
Okay, so you have 4 children.
Well, I have 2 older kids. They're grown.
Okay, let me start from the beginning. How many kids do you have?
I have 6 children in total.
Okay, that's what I need to know first.
Yep.
6 kids.
And
Okay,
I have
how old
4
are all
small
your
kids
kids?
that live at home.
How old are all your children, honey?
21, 19.
6 kids. This is the thing with like accountability for your actions. There's consequences to your actions. What woman, like, how can women think that, what quality of man will I get after I popped out 6 kids and I couldn't make it work with the men or multiple men that I had kids with? So what type of man will I get after all this experience? It's like this is why accountability matters, because then you recognize there is consequences to your actions. 6 kids and still on the dating market. So that's the insanity. You have 6 kids. Obviously, you have both ways are terrible, right? Either you had one man that you couldn't make it work, yet you gave him 6 kids, or you had multiple men that you gave kids to and you couldn't make it work each time. Big ass red flag.
12, 9, and 5-year-old twins.
Okay, by how many men?
3.
3 men. Why you not with the 5-year-old twins, Dad?
He liked to drink, and I'm not really I'm not an alcoholic, so yeah.
Okay.
This is the thing, right? With women, is like, are you stupid? He likes to drink. Women are shitty at vetting men. How can you, after you gave him kids, then you notice his drinking habit? I mean, what is it? You just been with him for 6 months? Less than a year? Because if you give people time, they will show you all of their facets, right? All of their sides. If you give people time, they will show you pretty much every inch of their personality, of who they are. How can you honestly say you gave that man time? No, you didn't. Most likely, you slept with him quite quickly. And you let him finish in you, kept his kid, and then see there's a red flag. Absolutely ridiculous.
Have you ever been married?
No, I've never been.
Okay. So Tessa, North Carolina, 40 Aries, mom to 6 kids, 2 adults, 4 younger. What do you do for?
Yo, sugar. Thank you for subscribing.
Living, honey.
I work in the mental health profession, but I am currently going to school doing my preliminaries for nursing.
Mental health profession, and you're going to school for nursing.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I think I have it all. Let me see. We got Tessa, North Carolina, 40 years old, Aries, mom to 6, 5'3" men, never married, mental health profession, going to school for nursing. You ready, Tessa?
I'll try to set my camera up for the. Okay.
What kind of man you looking for, honey?
Someone who is just
I'm sorry. Woman in their late 30s, 6 kids to 3 different men. Women like this should only do situationships. Stop having kids, and just do situationships. Because again, women like this won't attract good men. So, since you will basically only attract terrible men, fine, have sex with them, have fun with them. Don't reproduce anymore, right? Don't bring more kids into this world where you pretty much set them on the wrong foot. So stop that. But just do situationships, right? Have sex, have fun, have companions, but you don't qualify for marriage, and you don't qualify for good men, because women like this don't deserve good men. They don't, because look at this, right? Then I feel sad for the good men, because this is what you're settling for, right? This is what you're settling for. You spent your life being a good man, proper man, morally sound man. You try to be the best version of yourself, right? Improve in almost every aspect you can. And this is what you get. This is the golden pot at the end of the rainbow. At the end of the rainbow. This. Really? This is why I create this channel. To support men, prop men, push men to, you deserve better. You don't deserve, the shit on your shoes.
I don't want to say, like, it's hard to describe what you want because people start to think that you're needy. I just want someone normal, like someone from a decent background, someone who has goals, someone who washes their hands when they come out of the bathroom. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, have good dental hygiene. I've always been a strong, independent person. So I just wanted to be clear. Like, I have 6 kids because I'm strong enough to raise them all.
You have 6 kids because you're irresponsible. You're terrible at vetting men. You had kids because you're strong enough to have them? What? No. You had kids because you're irresponsible. No one holds you accountable for the terrible actions you make. You produced 6 kids for a broken home, right? Them coming out of a broken home. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. Another contribution to the baby mama culture. Disgusting. And being strong and independent. Stay independent. That's why I said you don't qualify for marriages and you don't qualify for good men. What you qualify for is situationships where, you know what, you can still be independent.
I have went through a lot raising my children, but nevertheless, it has made me a better person. So a lot of times men are scared of a woman with 6 kids.
No. Scared? Another woman has called men insecure, now scared. No. Men don't want to deal with that. You are a walking red flag. You gave kids to 3 different men, and you couldn't make it work for any one of those men. And the last man was an alcoholic that you saw fit in giving children to. You are a red flag that good men see a mile away. So no, men aren't scared of you, okay? They don't want to deal with you. Because, again, you are a red flag. You are just a poor excuse for a woman, right? You don't have discernment. You don't treasure your body. You don't treasure your womb. You waste your youth, your whatever I wouldn't call beauty, but your average looks, right? You waste your body on these men that you couldn't even get long-term relationship from. So really, and you think about this, 6 kids. What good man is like, oh, I want to be part of that. Help taking care of 6 kids that aren't mine. And a woman that's most likely, again, like I've said before, as women age, gaining life experience is not good because it's a hassle. It's annoyance. It makes them strong, independent, makes them annoying to be with. Okay? Women like this, it's their way or the highway. They're so strong, independent, you can't say shit. You can't, like, this is the thing. I've been with a strong, independent woman. It's always her way or the highway. She will tell you, oh no, you gotta do it this way. You gotta do it that way. And if you are a good man, which I believe most men are, you also in control of your life. having someone else dictate the things you should do, having someone correct you on the things you should do, the things you do, is mad annoying. So no, men aren't scared. Men just see you as a big problem.
Very well set and taking care of my children without the assistance of a consistent companion. So I'm not looking for a baby daddy. I'm not looking for someone to come in and do anything that they do not want to do.
You already have 3 baby daddies. So I hope you aren't looking for more baby daddies.
I'm very upfront about just being strong in that aspect. However, my perfect companion would be a family guy, someone who's oriented. He can have children. I don't mind that. I love kids. Um, just don't be messy. Like, it's so many times, like, if you have a baby moms or whatever, that's cool. Just be like, don't be messy with it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just be normal. And I can pretty much adapt to anything. Now, what I'm not going to deal with, like the deal breakers. Oh, sorry, Miss Kendra. I'm sorry.
No, good.
The deal breakers, what I'm not going to deal with is deception. I've been through a lot where I've healed from people being disloyal to me. So, like, I'm not going to go back to that. So, that.
Exactly what I was talking about. Life experience. I'm sorry, okay? Women, when they gain life experience, they only become harder to deal with. Women always say, I don't want a cheater. Well, most likely they dealt with cheaters. I don't want a liar because they dealt with liars. I don't want whatever, abusers, because they've dealt with these men. But when you dealt with these terrible men, toxic men, it warps your brain. It makes you build walls around your heart. So it makes you hard to deal with. Okay? I've been there where I've dated a woman where I had to break down walls and continuously break down walls. It is a chore. It is tedious. And there's no guarantee that you broke down the wall or you broke down all the walls. So really, now you got to deal with women's trauma. And when women with traumatic passes or, mental health issues, where I honestly believe most women, they haven't dealt with it. They haven't healed from it. They haven't fixed it. They haven't. Okay? They become hard to deal with. Plain and simple.
Like, soon as you could bring back a receipt and say that it was $10 and you give it to me and it was $6.99, I'm gonna feel some type of way. Yeah, because people, that's a consistent thing. Like, being honest is something that you make a habit of. So you always just try to be clear and cut, because people are crazy these days.
Woo, you broke it down. So, Tessa, should the man look a certain way?
I prefer height and chocolate. I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a colorist. But sorry. I'm not a colorist by far, but I just like what I like. Light-skinned men are attractive in some aspect, but it's just not typically for me. Um, but I'm open to anyone.
This is the thing, right? Why I try my best. I support all men. I support all men. But here's the thing I want to say. Why, and I have some videos on my site, on my page, where I try to say I do really support black men. Because, again, good black men are rare, or not rare, but they are, I would say, of high quality. Right? Because here's the thing. Good black men, please don't settle for this. Please don't. Right? There are other women, right? If you want just black women, well, there are black women all around the world. Please don't settle for crap like this. Because if you are a good man, morally sound man, a man that has pushed himself to be the best version of himself, which I hope you are, please don't settle for this crap. There's so many women that they've been through the crap of their life, and now I want a good man, I want a chocolate man, I want a tall man. You don't deserve good men. I'm sorry. Women like this do not deserve good men. So that's what I'm hoping I promote, where you, as men in general, but especially black men, because I think a lot of black men will accept shit like this. I'm sorry. If you are a good black man, if you are a man that strives to be the best version of yourself, the world is open to you. explore it. Okay? Because this like crap like this, it's just it's sad. It's sad that any good man will settle for this. And I've seen it, right? I've seen it where, and I know it too. I know a couple where a man has no kids. He's a hardworking man, a good man, except a woman with four or five kids. She's big, and he's not really big. It's like, if you want to, do whatever you want. I just hope that woman treasures or worships the ground you walk on. I hope it, because again, don't settle for women like this unless they worship the ground you walk on.
Well, you're light skinned, so you would have dated a man your complexion?
I'm not light skinned. I don't think I'm light skinned.
You don't think you're light skinned? What do you think you are?
Like a pecan, light skin, pecan. But I mean, yeah, my shade are a little darker, but I'm not a colorist. Like, as long as the guy is down to earth and he takes care of himself. I don't like hair chest, like chest hair or whatever.
You don't like hair chest?
Is that what that is? Or chest hair?
Chest hair, maybe?
And back hair.
Okay. So she don't like hair chest.
But I like big guys. I mean, not 600-pound life big guy, but stocky is good, thick. I'm a country girl, so I like I like them thick now.
Okay. What about money? Should he make a certain amount of money?
And this day and age, and the way these women been taking care of these men, yes, he needs to make his own money. Cause I'm gonna carry my own.
How much money does he have to make? What's the minimum?
Well, in North Carolina, you got to make 3 times the rent to even survive. So the baseline for that is about $75,000.
Okay. So he should make $75K.
That's just, saying you can pay your own rent.
So really, that's the minimum.
That's the minimum.
That's the minimum. Did your children?
Above average earning. Absolutely ridiculous. A woman that has 6 kids by 3 different men, older, she looks chubby herself. She wants a man that makes above average earning.
Your dads all make $75K?
No, the last one didn't. He work at Walmart right now.
Did the two?
The one before the last one, the one in the middle. He work at Walmart. He didn't.
Okay. So none of your children. You have 3. None of them made $75K.
Oh yeah, I just said the one didn't. 2 out of 3 did.
Why didn't it work out with the other 2 men you had kids by?
Because messy, and people make decisions that are not pertinent to where they're at now. And so back then I had a lot of growing to do too. I was raised from a Christian background, and so I always chose life over anything. And that
do Christians let men finish in them that aren't their husband? The absurdity to bring up religion. She brought up religion. Do Christians have unprotected sex out of wedlock, let alone have sex out of marriage? The entitlement, the audacity to bring up you were raised as a Christian. And to say that these men were messy, yet you still willingly had these men's kids. Yet you still let these men finish in you. I'm sorry. And anywhere on these years after the 2000s, are you stupid not to know that there are such things as condoms, as birth control, as Plan B? There's so many ways to not have a child. It's the lack of accountability, the lack of understanding that you are unbelievably idiotic. Okay? Don't push it on to, I believe in life. What? This is not no one saying to have an abortion. It's that don't let a man finish in you, right? Have or like Plan B. It's like seriously.
As those were personal decisions.
And you know what, Mystic, you're right. That is why statistically men are leaving the church. Okay, statistically, men are leaving the church because there are women like this. Okay, that calls them Christians, that calls them that wants a God fearing man. Really, really, it's absolutely ridiculous. Women want to use religion how they see fit. You pretty much are making your own religion.
Because, everybody's accountable for their own actions. You know what I'm saying? Right. So I chose life, and it's so easy to flush a kid down the toilet. That's just I chose, to do me. So, yeah.
Fair enough. No judgment there.
I wish Kendra would say, you couldn't make him wear a condom. So really, who said, yo, Alvy, who said that you have to flush a child in the toilet? You could have made him wear a condom. Hell, you could have, how about abstain? Be celibate because you're so Christian.
That's what people will say is, that's fair, but you went through it with 3 different men. So why maybe after the first or even second man? Because, there's other precautions, like there's birth control that can also be implemented too, right? To
True.
Prevent being in those positions. So I think people understand a one-time circumstance, but you went through the circumstance with 3 different men.
Well, everybody has their own story. I can't tell it on the Kendra, show tonight.
Everybody has their own. Because of what you said. We don't have to deep dive.
No. I get it. I'm just saying, like, everybody, there's an explanation for that, but it's sort of like too deep for here. But I get exactly what you're saying. I would say that too, just with...
Your explanation is you're irresponsible. No one has held you accountable for having kids, giving kids to terrible men that you couldn't sustain a relationship. Who cares if these men made $75K? You couldn't even like. This is the thing with women. Their standards are ridiculous. Okay, their standards are ridiculous. You said, "Oh, I want a man that makes $75K." Yet you've been with men that make $75K and you couldn't make it work. It's like, do you not see that $75K does not make a relationship work? It doesn't attribute to if a relationship work or not. How about talk about things that, you know what, makes more sense? I want a man that's stable. He can be stable. That has a job, takes care of himself. That's loving. That's respectful. That wants to be in a relationship. That wants to take care of or be a part of a family of 7. Have things that make sense to you. Because again, men that made $75K, you didn't make that work with those men. You are just. This is a problem when women are not held accountable, so they can't recognize the faults that they really made. They haven't.
Someone else because I would want to know, like, what didn't work for you? You know what I'm saying? Because everybody has those questions. That's a real question. However, I say that I don't use that as a crutch. A lot of women use their choices sometimes that they make to do other excuses, like to treat men wrong, drag them, use them for money, do a lot of ill will things. I'm not bitter. So I just take it as it comes and,
Saying men are scared to deal with her sound like she was bitter. She said men that, knows that she has 6 kids, they're scared to be with her. That sounds bitter to me. Right? That sounds bitter to me. Because that sounds like you haven't self-reflected. Right?
I'm still human. I think I deserve to have fun, life, whatever the case may be.
No, absolutely. Something you said earlier. You said that you feel like sometimes men are, I don't want to quote you wrong. I'm not sure if you used the word intimidated, but you said scared of a woman that has 6 children.
Yeah, well, like intimidated. Yes, ma'am. I did say that.
Okay.
Because they feel like, people, we want money. We want this, we want that, we want somebody to take care of our kids.
You literally said you want a man that makes 75K, above average earning. You didn't see, this is the thing with women. Just say I want a man that has a job that's stable. That's it. He's not asking me for money. Okay? I don't care what he makes, because a man that makes 40K can still live his life, take care of himself. The man that makes 50K can still live his life, take care of himself. Okay? Average men can still have it, can still do it. Saying that you want above average earning, it seems like that's what you're focused on. You're focused on the amount, right? Not the life, not the life he's living.
This, that, and the third, and that may be the background for some women who have, they may be looking for that come up or whatever the case may be, but that's not every woman. So
Well,
that's
that's
why I
fair,
said
but
that.
you are saying the guy has to make at least 75K to date you.
Yeah, for himself. That means he can afford his own rent. That means he don't have to stay with me. Because remember, I
Right.
told you in North Carolina, they like to live, to actually survive, you got to make 3 times the rent.
So
So,
here's what they'll say. Okay, and I want you to respond to this. And I
okay.
know my cousins, if I make you a highlight, it's not that that man doesn't exist, but they will say, why would a man who makes 75K date a mother that has 6 children by 3 men?
Oh, well, I would say, I have dated men of many calibers, and that has not stopped me from pulling a lot of nice men who come from the background that I described. I'm not trying to sound cocky.
Right.
Um,
You're still single. And here's the thing, right? Why women aren't held accountable? Because from shitty, stupid ass men. Here's where I'm holding men accountable. Because men sometimes they will lie to women. They will a lot of times men will lie to women. Where I'm after sex, but you know what? I'm gonna say you're amazing. I don't care if you have 6 kids, all this shit. But you know what? For a chance to hit it and quit it, I'll lie. I'll lie. Just give me a chance to hit it and quit it, and I'll lie. This is the thing where there are a lot of men that will help in adding to women's delusion. Fine, you can get dates with these men, have sex with these men. You cannot make these men commit to you. So really, are you pulling them? Are you really pulling them? I mean, I've said this before. Women, young, old, fat, skinny, ugly, pretty, you can get a lot of men, right? There will be men that will want them. But again, will they want them for long-term commitment? Will the men that you want you for long-term commitment? That's the thing. Women have to understand. Pulling a man for sex, for dates, that's nothing. That means nothing. Okay? That really means nothing because, again, I've heard this statement before. It's better than your hand. Right? It's better than your hand. So really, that means nothing. But if you can get a man to commit to you long term, then I will say I'll give you credit for your words. But really, you saying that you can pull these types of men means what? Okay?
Nevertheless, I had my own objectives, I had my own goals, and I wanted to be at a place where I can say I want these things because I realized that I did have 6 kids, that I realized I am a single Black woman. And it's going to be a little bit more harder for me to be in that pool. So once I was able to pull myself up to that threshold to be independent on my own, pay my own rent without Section 8, not be on food stamps, you know what I'm saying? To be able to do those things or accomplishments from where I'm from, sorry, Miss Kendra, and to be like, I can say, oh, I want this. I want this. I need this because, why not?
No, I love it. I guess the follow up would be those men that you pulled in your caliber. What happened to those guys? Why couldn't it grow into something long term?
Now, just because I was ready don't mean they was ready. And
But
they could
that's
have,
always what it.
So that means you couldn't make these men commit to you because they don't want to commit to you. That's what I'm saying. The men that you want don't want you. They want you for sex because, again, better than your hand. So really, that's the thing with women, right? They think these things are not for long. Yeah, they want them for a short time, or they want them for a fun time, not a long time. Okay, and that deludes women. Oh, I can pull these men that are six figures or nice men or all this shit. Well, can you? Can you? Because again, even ugly women, even below average women can pull supposedly top quality men. But again, like I said, better than your hand. So really, it's not the same as long-term commitment. Will this man commit to you and only you? That's the thing. And sadly, men that have sex with women without commitment deludes women and thinking, oh, I can pull this man, so I qualify for this man. You don't. I'm sorry, you don't. You don't qualify for these men because really, none of these men have committed to you.
Kind of comes down to.
Period. But why not? I mean, it's not like I don't date a lot, Miss Kendra. Like I'm very self-absorbed. Like my kids working, things of that nature. So I feel like just seeing what's out there is okay. But I'm not really. I want to see, but it's not gonna hurt me, or because I know the odds. Like you said, like it's a lot of consistent things happening in the dating pool.
Well, the thing is, I have to be honest, I feel for a lot of Black women because it's in the numbers game, the quantity is for the type of man y'all want. Now, there's men, right?
Okay.
There's men out there every single day walking this planet, but most women want a certain type of guy, and there's not enough of that certain type of guy to go to every woman that desires him. So
That's
I
right,
actually
Miss Kendra.
I do feel for my Black sisters because I know that.
I don't. First of all, I've said this before, I don't have empathy or sympathy for any woman in the dating market. I don't, because a lot of times women have proven me right. There's no sympathy or empathy for women when it comes to dating. Why? Here is an older woman, 6 kids, still in the dating market. You wasted your youth. This is why men say, in your prime, find the best man you can. Stop waiting until you are over the hill, used up, plenty of kids, a whole lot of life experience that makes you pretty much hard to deal with. Okay? And then find, oh, I want a good man. Or I want a man. I want a man that doesn't cheat on me, that doesn't lie to me, doesn't abuse me. Really? Find that man in your youth. This is why a lot of times, and I'm going to show it later, right? Women are terrible role models. Okay? Women are terrible coaches or all that shit because they're not real to women. Okay? They're not. Women like this, am I going to say it's impossible? No, I'm not saying it's possible. I've said this countless times before. Women like this, she can find a man. She can find a man. Okay? I've said it. Old, young, ugly, pretty, whatever. There's always men out there that would date you, that would, hell, even marry you. But is it the man that you want? I.e., does he make $75K? Right? That's why I say, don't have such strict standards. Then you eliminate certain men that would be good for you. But, nevertheless, this is the thing. If you want the best you can get, that can meet close to your standards or most of it, be in your prime. Because so you can have more to offer that man. Because this is the thing. Being older, withered, annoying, hard to deal with, 6 kids by 3 different men. What are you offering to a good man? Really, you're offering him shit in your hand to a good man. So really, you don't qualify for it. And I don't support any good man wanting to settle for this.
There's just the kind of guy that every woman wants. that guy, there ain't enough for to go to every
That's
woman.
right. That's
But there
right.
are men that you can have, but then it comes down to the men that you probably can have for whatever reason. I'm not saying you should be with this guy either.
Mm-hmm.
He's X'd out for whatever reason, and probably a legitimate reason. But that's just the circle that is going on in this conversation when we get to it. Okay, we're almost there. You told me your 3 flaws, right?
No, ma'am. So my
Oh,
3 flaws is, oh,
wait.
sorry,
Did I
Miss
ask
Keisha.
you okay before? Did I ask you your last relationship?
No, you didn't ask me that either.
Okay, let's get there. You do we do the Kendrick camp? We didn't do the Kendrick camp. Let's do
We
the
ain't do
Kendrick
that.
camp.
No, ma'am. Okay, so sorry, I got the.
Okay, they telling me I skipped a lot. Okay, here we go. Ooh, big booty girls. Where you from? North Carolina? You got that North Carolina cornbread fed.
Period. Got the Pintos over here in the crock pot.
When was your last relationship, Tessa?
So my last relationship was probably about 7 years ago.
7 years ago.
And yes, I
Um,
have 5-year-old twins, but and I tell this, and this is true, like if their dad was to come on here, he would say the same thing. We never had unprotected sex. You know that 1% where they say condoms are not effective? Yes. So and that's that
so
on
you
that.
got pregnant with your twins while using a condom.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh wow.
And
Them
their
babies is
dad
supposed
their
to be
dad would
here.
say the same thing.
Say again.
Their dad would concur that.
Woo, child.
Yep.
Okay. Um, so you don't have to answer, but I'm gonna ask. When's the last time you was intimate with someone?
So what happened was, it's I'm not gonna front. It's been like 60 days or so, but I'm not.
That's a cool way to say 2 months.
Yeah, it's been like 60 days. Like I say, I don't consistently see anyone, and this person I've been seeing for a long time, like and just like familiar with him, not consistently for a long time, but
Well,
it
my dear,
just.
So she's giving her body to a man that she's not getting a relationship from. The audacity to bring up being a Christian. And this is the thing. What is she offering to the next man? 60 days. She recently had sex to a man that she's not in a relationship with. What is she offering? This is the thing with women on the Kendra G show, right? I'm sorry, but what man sees this and is like, oh man, I want that? A man that's, again, a man that has red flags himself. Ridiculous.
y'all be together since y'all been seeing each other for a long time.
Because he's too young for me. He's been it's crazy, but he's a good person though, and I wish him goodwill. But we can't. Mm-mm.
Okay. He makes 75K?
Oh yes, ma'am. Oh
Ooh!
yes, ma'am.
So now let me ask you this. How much younger is he?
Um, he just turned 30.
Oh, he's 10 years younger.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me ask you this.
Oh, she's in her 40s. Okay, that not better. That ain't better. So I didn't really pay attention that well. So she's in her 40. It's absolutely ridiculous. It's ridiculous.
You do you want something serious or you feel like it's just not an option?
I do want something serious.
So you would want something serious with him. He doesn't want something serious with you?
I think that it's probably like it's crazy, but basically, it's not that, but it is that. You know what I'm saying? Because he had someone that he was dealing with, and I think he really cared for her, but she didn't really care for him like that. So he's working himself through that. So he was sort of like in a relationship.
So she's just a booty call. This is the thing. Wake up. I said this. She only qualifies for situationships. You're in your 40s, 6 kids, you're strong, independent. Fine. Just do situationships, which really that's what you qualify for. Especially from the men that you want. You qualify for a booty call, a pump and dump, right? Hang out with these men, chill with these men, have sex with these men. Boom. That's it. It's ridiculous.
Dealing with someone
Okay.
at some
Okay.
point. but I wasn't his side at some point. I think I came back in the picture like after that.
So he's 10 years younger than you, though.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, have y'all? So does he know how you feel that you would want to be in a committed relationship?
I mean, we express affection for each other, but we've never took it there. Like, I feel like as a man, I mean, if I tell you, like, I care about you, how I feel about you, I describe it. I feel like it's a man's job to cuff you. Because the worst feeling a woman can do is try to put herself all the way out there, and then that man don't receive you. If a man wants you, he gonna put them things on you.
But girl, you already opened your legs for him, so you might as well tell him what you want.
I mean, not like told him I want to be in a relationship. I don't know if I really want to. Like, I feel like we open, but I don't desire. I feel like I want to see other things too, because he's young.
So what are you calling me for tonight? Do you desire a relationship?
Yes, just not with him.
Yet you give him your body. Like I said, right? If you don't hold women accountable, their delusions and hypocrisies go unchecked.
Okay. We got some paid questions for you, girl. You ready for
I know. I see him. Lord have mercy. I ain't tripping though, because like it is what it is.
Okay. Through the Fire is a podcast. They said, question for Tessa. You have a Christian background. You did the non-Christian thing 6 times with 3 men. The man that you desire comes. How is he finding a good thing and taking care of another man's responsibilities?
Clearly, he wasn't listening to the conversation, Miss Kendra. Because didn't I say that it ain't about me finding a man to take care of my children? I said that I was trying to find someone who was interested for me. And that's another reason why I've been single so long, because I'm very protective of my children. I don't let men run in and out of my house. They've never seen that. They've never been exposed to that. So, yeah, I may have made a mistake 6 times in your eyes, but you don't know how God is receiving me because you don't know my relationship with God. That's the problem with Christians today. They always want to put their nose where it don't belong. Sweep it around somebody else's dough instead of their own. Hello. But I thank you, sister.
You are literally trying to get a man to date you. Seriously. These are men, like the absolute insanity. You are advertising yourself. So really, the man that would want to date you, consider to date you, he will want to know. So really, you saying it's none of their business? The lack of maturity, the lack of intelligence, right? Absolute insanity of these women.
I think it was a guy. I will say to this. I think when you said intimidated, I think that any real man, right? If we're talking about real men,
yes,
not
ma'am.
A man who's just trying to have sex with you, see you every 2 months, never meet your kids. I'm not talking about him.
Yes,
I'm talking about a man that will be willing to partner with you in life. He would have to consider how he would be with your children, right?
Understandable.
So, I mean, like, whether you're looking for money or not, he would have to, if he's a good quality man, have to understand that if I'm going to love this woman, I have to love her children the same. And you do have 5-year-old twins. So you have 2 kids that will be in the house for at least another amount of years. So I know you use the word intimidated, but I think a real man has to make sure he was ready to sign up for that. And I think, listen, as a mother, you shouldn't want a man who's not going to love on your kids, quite honest.
Exactly. But I just wanted to say, like, that wasn't the objective. I feel like that was like the baseline for that question. Like, they was like, that's all I'm looking for. No, I want to grow to that. I don't want to come in and expect, because I'm not going to let that happen. You know what I'm saying? A man be all around my kids and do all that. I'm not that type of mom.
Okay. Divine Photo says, you should have those same standards before having the kids, not 6 kids later, to have high standards now. Do you believe in compromising your standards?
I always had standards. I just chose to make bad choices. Like I said, everybody doesn't know everyone's background.
Are you kidding me? That doesn't really paint you on a better picture. I've always had these standards, but you know what? I'm going to break this is the thing. It's like exactly what men say. You will break rules for the players, the bad boys, the Pookies, the Ray Rays. Okay? the Chaz and Tyrones, women will break rules for these men. And then good men, they will make you live up to these rules or not, right? Or you don't get with them. It's like that's insanity of women. You literally break rules for terrible men and then expect good men to follow your rules. Make that make sense, right? This is why when no one holds women accountable for their actions, right? It allows them to be delusional. And this is why I say she does not qualify for good men. Because of that, the insanity of it. And this is the thing. Men don't talk out of their ass because women constantly prove men right.
I didn't have a father coming up. Not saying that I suffer from fatherless trauma. It's that looking for certain things in a relationship are real. So you can't judge anybody just because they can't judge you. I don't know your secrets. You're not telling me things about you. So, that's how I would answer that question. You just assuming. You don't know anything about the baseline. And so, but I get it though. That's a real question, but I'm not compromising my standards. I always had them. Sometimes I just lowered them.
Okay. Coffee Killer said, having 6 kids, and if he brings 1 kid, that's 7 kids plus 2 adults, that's 9 people. How much money would this man have to realistically make? And what do you bring to a man in that income bracket?
Well, okay. If I'm hearing the question right, he's asking me basically, if a man had more kids, how much money do I make so I can help him out? That's what I heard.
No, what he's saying is you have 6 kids.
Yes,
If
ma'am.
let's just say the man hypothetically has 1.
Mm-hmm.
So now that's 7 kids, and then 2 adults, you and that man. So that's really 9 people. So he's saying if a man is a provider in the most case, and he's looked at to provide for himself and his 1 child, and you and your children. She does have older children though, Coffee Killer, 21 and 19. I guess he's saying, how much money do you think a man will have to make to take care of all those bills, and what do you bring to a man in that income bracket?
What is the income bracket again? Just 75,000?
Well, I know your requirement is 75K. I don't know what the cost of living in North Carolina, but I think to take care of 9 people,
75,000, Miss Kendra. You gotta make at least, okay, you gotta make at least 70 to 75. If you're renting, probably anywhere from 18 to 2,000 a month. Mortgage could be, less than that, about 950, 1,000. It just
Okay, do you
depends.
make 75K?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm assuming one thing, Coffee Killer, I think we have to include, you're gonna contribute to the bills, correct? Or no?
You are crazy, Miss Kim. She said, "Oh no," or no.
I don't know. Maybe, okay, let me find out. Do you not want to contribute? Do you want this man to pay all the bills?
I mean, so it's like it would be great for a man to pay all the rent. That would be ideal. What woman wouldn't want that? But I ain't gonna say that's what I have to
Well,
have.
it's a woman that should have closed the deal with one of the men she had children with, to be quite honest with you, honey. Like, I think to now have this expectation that the men you had children with didn't fulfill is what your challenge is going to be. So you want a new man to come into this household and pay all the bills where you and your kids live, and you didn't require that from the 3 men you had children with?
Who said that?
I just asked you that because I said,
Oh,
because
I
I was
didn't hear
getting
you
ready to
ask me
rebuttal.
that. I didn't
No.
hear you ask me that.
Okay, well, Coffee Killer is making the assumption that the man is paying all of the bills. So I was getting ready to rebuttal that and say, well, you make 75K. So I'm assuming you would want to contribute to the bills, but then you pause and you laugh and you made it seem like, well, no, you don't want to pay the rent.
Oh, it lagged then because I was laughing at the way you had said something before that. That's why I was laughing. It was something that you said, like how you said it was funny to me. So that's why I laughed. I didn't hear
Well,
that
no,
part.
you followed it up with, well, Miss Kendra, what woman wouldn't want somebody to pay all the bills?
That
That's what you
CBD
said
might be,
next.
look, that CBD might be good. Okay, so I missed the question before I said, I missed something in there. But nevertheless, let's pick it up because I missed something because I was off
Well,
a
let
little
me just
bit.
ask you it directly. Do you
Okay.
want this? Is the expectation for the new guy to pay the rent or the mortgage entirely?
I never, it would be nice, but I ain't gonna require that because I ain't never had that. So that's not an expectation of me. I've always had to take care of myself, Miss Kendra. So I'm not.
I want her to say, so, but are you going to pay the majority of it? He's one man, potential. Let's say this, right? Hypothetically, he brings in one kid, which is, let's be realistic. Most men, they're not bringing their kid, their children, into a new household. Usually, their children is with the mom. So realistically, he's bringing himself. Maybe once in a while his kid, but realistically, he's bringing himself. So, are you paying most of the bill? Because it's you and she said two other kids that are live. I think they're not living with her, but so fine. Her and four other kids, so five. So are you paying 5 times worth compared to him paying just for himself?
Not gonna that's going above like doing something out of the ordinary. I'm not requiring a man to pay all my rent
Okay.
at the gate. If he finds me,
Out the
and we
gate.
move in
Listen, I
together.
don't want. Okay, hold on. We talk because I feel like I'm not trying to make you change your standard. Okay, so I want to
I
be
get
clear,
it.
but I do want to understand, right? So
Hmm.
if that is your request, then that is your request. But I need to get clarity because you just said out the gate. So is the expectation at some point in time that this man will be paying all of the bills?
I don't think so, Miss Kendra. I don't think so. That would be a reality that I would expect. No, ma'am. I
I
don't.
just think that I know we looking for superheroes, child, but
I
I
mean,
think this is
I'm
where
not
men
really
get frustrated. I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm
right.
not saying it's right or wrong, but this is what they're gonna say. And this is why I think Coffee Killer, because I was getting ready to defend you because I felt like his question was about a man coming in and his income had to take care of solely 9 people, right? And I wasn't sure if that was your expectation. I thought, yes, you come with 6 kids, but you already make a good living. So a part of me thought you would contribute to the household.
Of course.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right.
That's probably where I had the disconnect at is right.
Will you contribute to the majority of the household? This is what Kevin Samuels always say. How much do you want to pay? How much of the household, right, do you want to be responsible for? Kendra needs to say that. How much of the household expenses, living expenses, do you want to be responsible for? Like, if it doesn't get done, right, you can't do it, right? How much responsibility do you want? If she has 6 kids with herself, she better be responsible for 90% of the bills.
There, how you just broke it down. Now I understand the question. No, ma'am, I don't expect a man to come in and just take care of all my responsibilities. These are not his children. That's a reality at the end of the day.
Okay. Now go back to my questions. I asked you your 3 flaws.
No, ma'am.
What are your 3 flaws?
Uh, being impulsive, uh, being too strong sometimes, and being too, I don't want to say like friendly, but more like too trustworthy sometimes.
Okay, too trustworthy sometimes. All right. And why would a guy be lucky to be with you, honey?
For one, because I can cook. And now I'm a good person overall. Like I said, everybody has their own backgrounds. It's easy for people to be in comments and saying 1,000 things, but everybody has a place where they come from. Everybody has a place where they're trying to go. A person who would be ideal to go along with me on my journey is someone who is family oriented, of course. Someone who appreciates a strong Black woman. Someone who appreciates an educated woman. Respects the fact that I still have aspirations and dreams too. To respect the business aspect of me. I feel like I'm I'm not a shark, but I'm definitely not a tadpole. I try to go get it regardless. I love being a mom. I love being a go-to person. People find it very easy to talk to me because, believe it or not, I do listen. I don't always just talk. I do listen. So a person would be lucky to me because I'm loyal. I'm consistent. Um,
Is she loyal?
a lot of times, and we just have to, it's hard to accept the fact that women get targeted for virtues too, for having good things, because they have a light that shines so bright that people would be attracted to that to misuse it. Unfortunately, I was not able to, unfortunately, I was able to escape that and not be stuck in it like a lot of my sisters. I was able to break through from that. So I'm very proud of that today. A man that respects that and honors that would be ideal for me as well. We all have a past. So if you want me to accept and deal with you, we have to be able to find a medium. Yep.
Okay, you definitely have a bubbly spirit.
Ugh, it's ridiculous. I just, I mean, this woman talks. It just shows, to be honest, it shows lack of self-awareness. But I've said what I said, right? That all equates to that. So insanity of women. What do you guys think?